Hey everybody, welcome back to Auto Anatomy. I am Sean. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we are working on one of your very favorite project cars, my dad's 1965 Ranchero. Today we're back working on the Ranchero, and about a year ago he picked up a disc brake conversion kit for the front. Now this car has drum brakes at all four corners. When drum brakes were first introduced, you know, when speed limits were like 55, 60 miles an hour on the interstate, they really worked fine. But to try and use one of these cars to keep up with modern traffic, it really is better to go ahead and upgrade the braking system. So Dad picked up a Wilwood vented front disc brake conversion for the Ranchero. He's also got some new front upper control arms to put on because the old ones were kind of squeaking a little bit and just making some noise. And that was one of the few things that we didn't replace when we did this car 2-3 years ago, whenever it was. So on today's video, we're going to get the brake upgrades done. We're going to get the front upper control arms done, maybe fix an exhaust leak or two, and show you exactly how much of an improvement a disc brake upgrade will make for your classic car. Before we change the brakes out, we're going to do some A to B testing. So we're going to get some time from like 40 miles an hour all the way down to 0 to see really how much of an improvement putting on new brakes on your Ranchero will make. We can do it whenever you'd like. So we're going to get up to 40, and I'll hit the timer as soon as you start braking. Okay. Okay, so right at 4 seconds from 40 to 0. All right, so we're gonna do that one more time just to make sure we've got good numbers. But that wasn't bad, actually. The car stopped pretty quickly. All right, so we're up to 40, so whenever he starts. Oh, that was 3.2.
Yeah, I burned brakes that time.
We left a little rubber on the road. We'll try it one more time. Well, we kind of had a little snafu on the brake testing. So we got the first two tests done. The first was like 4.1 seconds. The second was 3.2 seconds. So we did a third one to try and get an average. And when we stopped, we heard the screeching and smoke out of the front end, and pulled over to the side. And what we found is that somehow the fan blade had contacted the radiator and put a giant gouge right in the middle of the radiator. So we limped the car home and are going to do the other things like the A-arms and the brake upgrade. See if we can get a radiator here and figure out what happened. But as you can see, let me see if I can show you this here. Yeah, like right there. There's a big giant gouge, and then there's another one, you can't see it, but all the way down in the bottom of the radiator. The motor mounts look fine. They don't look like, they've torn, so I don't think the engine moved forward, but I don't have a good explanation as to what happened. So if you've got an idea, let me know in the comments below, because I'm really, really curious what happened. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get those A-arms done and put the disc brake upgrade on.
down in the hole at the bottom of the sea.
Now it's official.
Bada bing.
So we picked up this Trick vented brake kit from Wilwood, which comes with really nice big rotors, some Trick Wilwood calipers, all of the stainless hardware, everything to convert this thing to a disc brake. And it looks pretty straightforward. I mean, it basically looks like you just take the old drums off and then bolt this little bracket in place, put the rotor on, and put the new caliper on, and that's it. So let's get the old stuff off and start putting on the new disc brakes. Hopefully we don't find a stray screw in this side like we did the other side.
There we go.
Yeah, this side's easier to get to. I can just grab the spindle.
What are we looking at?
Okay, so it's a 3/8 nut, like pipe wrench, flare nut wrench, but this one's been rounded and messed up. So let's see if we've got a 3/8 wrench, and if not, unfortunately, it may be a pair of vice grips. I don't really like doing that, but this one's already kind of messed up. To try and use this, we're gonna have to use vice grips.
Vice grips.
Yeah. Unfortunately, someone already buggered up the threads on this thing, so we're gonna have to do what we really don't want to do, which is put a pair of vice grips on these things. So please, if you're working on a car, please use the right tool, because this is so frustrating. Okay, now we're just gonna pull this one little clip off.
Clip out and it ought to drop down.
Yep. And all right, now that we've got the original brakes off, Wilwood includes this really nice bracket, and basically it just slides over the existing spindle and bolts on. Then you just slide the new rotor on, bolt the new caliper on, and you're done. It is that simple. Y'all want to hear one of the most satisfying sounds in all of working on cars? That's the sound of things going back together. Next up is mounting the caliper itself. Now we get to put in some hydraulics. There's a little 90-degree fitting that goes on. Followed by a new braided stainless. And finally, the last step, dropping in the brake pads. Man, I cannot wait to go try these things out. I cannot imagine how much of an improvement this is going to make to the stopping power. And I thought the car stopped pretty well before, but I mean, this is like night and day difference. So let's get the other side done, and then we've got to put in a brake proportioning valve, get the brakes bled, and then yeah, we're done. All right, so the last step in doing the disc brake upgrade is going to be putting in a proportioning valve, which lets you bias the amount of brake pressure front to rear. So we picked this one up from Summit, and it's just kind of a universal guy where it's got front inlet, and then rear outlet, and then these two are front outlets. And we're just going to put this right here. So this is our rear and our front. And this is going to mount just about like that right in there. So we're going to have to make a few new hoses, but once we get that in place, this will let us like adjust the amount of brake pressure front to rear so that neither the front locks up first or the rear locks up first. Okay, so I've got everything out of the way here, and this is basically what we're going to end up doing. So this is going to mount like right here, although I think I'm probably going to mount it a little bit lower so that it's a little more out of the way. This is the front left brake hose, and I think I'm going to end up just remaking it so that it sits a little lower, or at least take it off and shorten it some, because I don't want this guy sitting like all the way up here above the shock tower and everything. So let's take this one hose off, start shortening it, and then we just get to make a few hoses, and yeah, it'll be done. All right, so I got all the brake hoses done, the proportioning valve is in place, and everything's tight. Got to put some fluid in it, bleed them, and then we can take it out for a test drive and see exactly how it's doing. But first, we still have to address the radiator. So as soon as the radiator comes in, we'll get that in, and then we can actually go for a test drive. Exhaust leak is done. And the next one down says,
This is the biggie. And I didn't even put the brake proportioning valve on there, so. Hey.
All right, well, we can knock out the ashtray and a few of these other little things too while we're at it.
Might as well.
All right, it's all wrapped up. Got the brakes all bled out and got the wheels on. And I think this is the coolest thing, is that you can actually still see Wilwood through the 14-inch Keystone mags. Okay, so we got the new radiator, and we're kind of running into a dilemma here because the new radiator is about a ½ inch thicker than the other one, but there is less than 2 inches between the radiator itself and then the snout of the water pump. And all of the electric fans that I've seen are going to be about 2 to 2.5 inches thick, even the thin ones. The other thing is, I don't even know that there's room to get a mechanical fan back in there. So I don't know, we're kind of stuck. I hate to end the video off like this, you know, not having any kind of resolution on the disc brakes or anything, but I think we're kind of stuck for the moment, not being able to drive the car. So I guess we'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and click on the bell to be notified when new videos come out. As soon as we get some more resolution on this, I will definitely let you know. Take care.